Hello and welcome, Leo, to your September 2023 horoscope. I am Jeff Smith, professional astrologer and fellow Leo here at Raise Your Vibration TV, bringing you the cosmic weather for the month of September. So, we're going to talk about first impressions of the Leo whole sign chart. We're going to see exactly where our energies are going to be placed, and we'll do that with the traveling of the sun. Which houses is it going through? We're going to talk about new and full moons. We're going to be talking about a lot, the retrogrades that are going on, the sign ingresses. So welcome, fellow Leos, all my kings and queens. Don't forget to watch your tarot reading for September also. These two together work great. So welcome, Leo. Let's begin. All right. So there we go. We got our chart. Here you can see all this retrograde action. You don't have to really pay attention to the North Node and Chiron, but we will pay attention to Uranus is now retrograde. That happened last week. We've got Neptune retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde, all the big heavy hitters, okay? And then we have a couple planets going direct. We already had Venus go direct, and that was on September 3rd. So any issues dealing with love or anything like that can be dealt with on this day, but things are definitely moving forward for you. This could also, it's highlighting the first house, which is, you feeling good about yourself. You're back. Leo's back. It's making a square to Jupiter, but that's okay. It's going to be going direct, all right? And I don't focus on shadows or anything like that. It is what it is, okay? And then we have Jupiter, which is not retrograde, will be going retrograde the next day on the 4th. And that's very close to Uranus. So we're going to have career things. We're going to be having those reassessment. And where am I going? What am I doing? The sun is in right now in Virgo in your second house, and it's going to be traversing the second house and moving into Libra soon. So we're moving out of getting our finances in order. We're finally getting a balance on that, a handle on that. We're not restricted anymore. You can see Mercury is still retrograde. Mercury will be going direct on the 15th. And then, our path right now is self-worth. What are we doing for ourselves? We're being challenged to do something here, And as the sun moves through the rest of Virgo and into Libra, then it's going to be all about communication and balance. So October looks stellar for Leos. We'll talk about that more later. But let's go ahead and look at the calendar view for September. There it is. So let's go ahead and walk through the month. Okay, so again, September 3rd, Venus goes direct. And then the next day, Jupiter goes retrograde on the 4th. Okay, so I really don't pay that much attention to Jupiter retrograde. I just wanted to look at you reassessing your worth. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. You're going to see a lot of news about financial matters going on with Jupiter, expansions, maybe things going not the way you want them to. But as we travel through the week, we've got the moon making a square to Neptune. And we've got the weekend setting up to be quite surprising for some of us Leos. Usually with work, we got the sun making a trine, a very harmonious aspect to retrograde Jupiter. Still, now we're getting we're finding out, we're getting the realization of things coming to fruition. And then we have the sun sextile Uranus on the 9th. Expect some exciting news around that time. The 10th, the moon is in Leo in our sign. Looks like a good weekend that weekend. And then the moon makes a conjunction to Venus. And then that next week, we're getting ready for the new moon. We have the moon making a square to Uranus. Now, this could, we've got the moon making a sextile to Uranus on the weekend, but as the week approaches, now we've got some challenges, so just be aware of that. And then we're getting ready to move into the new moon. The new moon happens at 9:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 14th. It's in 21 degrees Virgo. So go ahead and look to see what is in your chart for Virgo at that time, see if anything's aspecting to your chart. And then the next day, the 15th, we have Mercury going direct. And the moon moves into Libra, a more balanced energy. Communications seem to flow at that time. Maybe a little relationship bump on the 17th. The 19th looks like the veil has been lifted. The 21st, the sun makes a nice trine to Pluto. So that's getting geared up for this weekend. Getting work done, feeling not time constraints, but releasing some of this. And then on the 23rd, the sun moves into Libra. So then it's Libra season. So now it's all a focus on balance. How can we balance this out? It's a time for review too, because we're gearing up towards the full moon on the 29th. So we've got the moon moving through Aquarius, kind of a weird Sunday. Let's not go crazy on the 25th. We've got the moon moving into Pisces. It's completing its cycle, and then it's restarting a cycle. Wednesday is a good opportunity. Then we've got this fiery energy that's going to be harmonious for us anytime there is a lunation in a fellow fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. That's going to be harmonious. So this is going to be a harmonious full moon for you. The full moon is going to be taking place in your 9th house of travel. So you might be traveling, or you might be releasing some things about beliefs and regaining some perspective on that. We also have Venus squaring Uranus. That's a heavy aspect right there, and it finishes out the month. So the full moon is an excellent time to release. That new moon is happening in your 2nd house. So this is all about finances, getting things solid. You might be getting a lot of loans. You might be getting some help financially, but you're allowing that abundance to come into your life, Leo, okay? So the new moon's happening in your 2nd house of money, finances, self-esteem. So it's a new time for us Leos. Even though we're out of Leo season, it's a great time to start planting those seeds around the 15th, the 14th and 15th. And then we can work now on seeing what we need to release throughout the rest of the month when we get to the 29th on this full moon. And then we start fresh. You know what I mean? Because then we're starting a new cycle here with the full moons. We went from a Pisces full moon, we let things go, and now the full moon will bring some things in. And because this is happening in your 9th, you may be thinking about going back to school. You may be thinking about higher education. You may be just changing your beliefs and philosophy. Religious outlook is really going to help you towards the end of the month, because then you can get some things done. Maybe it's getting some perspective on spirituality and working through that, but you've got to be honest with yourself. As long as you don't go crazy on the spending, I think Leo will be fine in September. But this is gearing up, because I'm going to tell you something. October looks stellar. So just be aware of that. The new moon is an excellent time for us to get our heads right with money, knuckling down on that, making a list of the finances that we need and the bills that we need to pay, and doing that. Don't procrastinate. And then the full moon is a time for release, and that's going to be happening in your 9th, where you release some of these beliefs that you have, usually about relationships. It looks like it's going to be about relationships for us. All right, so Leo, not that bad of a month. There's not too many things going on. This is kind of like almost like we're feeling like we're in a holding pattern. But all in all, it seems like a pretty good month to kind of release some things and actually get down to some details. Like I plan on doing a lot of remodeling and redecorating during September, so I can really enjoy it in October. And that's kind of like the way you think, what you want to do getting towards the middle of the month is start to make plans. What do you want to do? Do you need new clothes? Do you need a new makeover? What's going to make me feel more complete? That's the kind of thing that Leo is going to be going through this month. All right, Leo, thank you very much. Don't forget, watch your tarot reading for September. Also, you'll find that right here in the What's Next box. And like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in October.